teachers fired.
Hi, my name is Ivy, and I discovered my teacher doing something sinister. So sinister that I got him fired, and now the whole school hates me.
Nah, sorry, but if your teacher did something that bad that they got fired, I'm pretty sure everyone would actually like you because they were a bad teacher.
It all started when Mr. Cliff became an English teacher at my high school. Now Mr. Cliff was gorgeous. He was probably about 25 years old, and every single girl was madly in love with him. He was funny, charismatic, and super kind. It seemed like he actually really cared about our emotions, which was more than I can say about a lot of teachers at that school. There was a rumor going.
Now, why do they make it out to be that teachers are wise people? If you actually get to know them, and I'm not talking about actually having a full-on conversation with them, they're actually nice people. Because the reason they shout at you is because one, either being a dick, or you're just not doing what they're telling you to.
Around that Mr. Cliff would change into a different shirt in his room during lunch. Once it had gotten warmer in the school, my best friend Macy and I sat around with all the girls, giggling about what he looked like without a shirt on. I thought he was handsome, but I was a little creeped out that everyone was talking about it.
Well, yeah, you kind of should be creeped out while they're talking about what your teacher looks like, topless, because, that is creepy.
He was a teacher after all. The next day during lunch, Macy ran over to me crying. She was panicking and could barely breathe. She told me she had been dared to go in and take a photo of Mr. Cliff while he was shirtless on her way out.
Look, the stories are one thing, but the goddamn drawings are a completely whole different thing. They look like a goddamn 2-year-old drew them. Like, it doesn't even look like they had time. It's like they were doing it at the end of the lesson. They didn't because they wanted to go back home.
She had dropped her phone and it had slid under her desk. She couldn't find it. Even worse, she had set the photo of him to her background. If he found it, she would be in huge trouble. I knew I had to go and get her phone for her after school.
No, that's not what you do. What you do is you ask him, hey, so can I go to your class? Because I accidentally dropped my phone when I was taking a selfie. Yes, I know I shouldn't have taken a selfie, but yes, it actually dropped because a kid just ran past me and smacked it out of my hand. You don't get it for her. She has to get it for herself now. That's how it works.
I snuck into his room. I dove under the desk to find it. As soon as I grabbed it, I heard footsteps coming towards the door. I started to panic. Without thinking, I dove into the closet and closed the door behind me.
There's something dodgy in your school when the closets are that big that they can fit a whole person and don't even take that much space off of it.
What happened next changed my life forever. I watched through the slit in the closet as Mr. Cliff came inside, and my classmate Tia walked in behind him. Mr. Cliff started running his hands through Tia's hair. He told her she was so mature for her age, and she was so different from anyone else. Then he kissed her. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was an adult, and Tia was only 17. I felt like I was about to throw up. How could he do something so terrible? I stood in the closet and shocked. His Tia, Mr. Cliff, left to go to his house when he shut the door behind me. I realized I was locked in. I called Macy. She had temporarily borrowed her cousin's phone.
Am I the only person that can tell someone's watching you because, they're directly watching you with their eyes open, literally doing nothing? So, yeah, like, am I the only one that can kind of tell if someone's watching you or not?
So luckily I was able to ask her for help. She managed to go get the janitor to open the door. I came out of the room looking like I had seen a ghost. On the way home, I told Macy everything.
Sorry, but wouldn't the janitor be kind of worried and would want to know why you were in his goddamn classroom when no one should be there? Like, that'd be kind of sus.
I knew the next morning I would have to go to the principal's office and report what had happened. But Macy told me I couldn't. She said Mr. Cliff was the nicest teacher at our school. If I got him fired, everyone would hate me. And besides, she said she is lucky he hit on her. I felt so sick hearing those words come out of Macy's mouth.
Nah, but okay. Nah, don't you know how this is fake? No student or anyone would say that. literally, if you heard, no matter how goddamn good looking the person is, if you heard that they were kissing someone
I knew
underage,
Tia was way too young,
or doing
and
anything
Mr.
to
Cliff was her
someone underage,
superior, so
she
everything
wouldn't be
about
saying,
this was
"Oh,
wrong.
no, because
But honestly,
no, would
I was
you?
afraid
No,
to
you
speak
wouldn't.
up. What if no one believed me? All night, all I could think about was him kissing Tia and telling her she was special. Maybe the whole school would hate me, but I couldn't sit back and let this happen. A few days later, after school, I hid in the closet again. If I could get evidence, then I would be more confident going to the principal.
Good for you for trying to find evidence, but ever since the janitor would have found you, don't you think they'll kind of like keep a lookout on you? And plus, you know where you're goddamn managing to goddamn do James Bond shit. No, you're just not, are you? Like, I don't think they'll. It's like if everyone literally has their eyes on that teacher, don't you think they'll be looking at his classroom, and there will be tons of people in his classroom? No, not in, but outside. Well guys, this is gonna be it for me. I can't be asked dealing with this shit anymore. If you have any recommendations, just leave them in the comment section. So yeah, this will be me.
育っていく環境がそうさせてしまう。だから今の受け入れられるべきなんです。